So a brand new interview came out with Phil Spencer from the Washington Post surrounding the whole Activision deal and some of the games that Phil Spencer would love to revive from the Activision Vault, and actually some of the games that Activision themselves want to see Xbox revive from the Activision Vault. So welcome back, my friends, to another video here on the channel. If you guys are new around here, be sure to subscribe so guys never miss any future content. We talk about the games and play the games here on the channel, kind of the best of both worlds. So if you do enjoy this one, be sure to stick around. And if you specifically do enjoy this video, be sure to leave it a like. It definitely helps out the channel a whole lot. If you don't like it, that's completely fine as well. So brand new interview. I mean, it feels like we're talking about this almost every single day at this point, but there's a lot, like I said from the very beginning, there's a lot to unpack with this, man. There is a lot going on. So there's this whole brand new interview, and in the interview, Phil Spencer is basically talking about how they want to have these discussions. They are already having these discussions and will continue to have these discussions on how to, I guess, enable the employees at Activision the way they have with at Microsoft, at Xbox, to create the best working environment so they can have the most creative kind of, I guess, work environment that they can. So that's really, really nice to hear, because obviously the more creative people feel, the better the products are going to be, right? I mean, we can all kind of tell when a game feels kind of pushed and forced, and you know what I mean, it doesn't sit right. The best games ever created are games that, people's creativity can just flow freely. I mean, look at Nintendo, right? That's one thing with Nintendo that I've always appreciated and loved that they've stayed true to, is they're always about having fun, creating fun for the fans, for the players, and it's great to see that that's kind of direction Microsoft and Xbox is headed into, especially with this whole acquisition. So there's a couple talking points, but I actually want to start with what Activision themselves said, because Bobby Kotick, and I know there's a lot of obviously controversy surrounding him specifically, but he's still going to be running Activision for the time being. But he actually went into a little bit of a discussion on some of the games he would like to see Phil Spencer kind of revive from the Activision vaults that Activision themselves haven't really been able to do for various reasons. So it's kind of interesting, and then that actually leads into some stuff that Phil Spencer said. So I'm going to throw this one up on screen first. This one is from Bobby Kotick. So it reads, Phil Spencer and I started riffing on things for the future. I'll give you three that are really compelling. I wanted to make a new Guitar Hero for a while, but I don't want to add teams to do manufacturing, supply chain, and QA for manufacturing, and the chip shortages are enormous. We didn't really have the ability to do that. I had a really cool vision for what the next Guitar Hero would be and realized we don't have the resources to do that. And Skylanders too. One of the greatest disappointments of my career is that other people came in and they came out with crappy alternatives, and they dumped all of these crappy alternatives in the market and basically destroyed the market for what was a really cool future opportunity. If you look at Skylanders with its hardware and manufacturing and supply chain, there are the same kinds of things that we can't do, but Microsoft can. So pretty interesting stuff there, obviously, right? There's a couple different games that he mentioned personally, the big one being Guitar Hero. As long as it's not Guitar Hero Live, that game was kind of that was a flop. Bring back the old school kind of Guitar Heroes like 1, 2, and 3. Those were prime. Those, like, bring back that style, and we are gonna have like the craziest Guitar Hero experience ever. In 2020, whatever it's gonna be, 2022. No, that's not gonna come out this year. I mean, the acquisition's closing in 2023, probably by the summer of 2023. So we got like a year and a half probably till this whole deal actually closes, which is a long time. And by the time things start getting rolling, if we were to see another Guitar Hero game, it probably won't be till like 2025. Yeah, I was gonna say 24, but like I don't know if they could work on it that quick. I mean, maybe it's not. I don't know if it's a super complex game. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Obviously, I'm not a developer, but it probably not till like 25 at least. But hey, we might see it in a few years. Maybe there's hope. And the fact that like he's right though. Xbox, Microsoft, they have so much more at their disposal that they can make these things happen. I've been speaking about that every single time we talk about this discussion, is that we could very well see a lot of these franchises, be resurrected, and they do more with them, right? Not just Guitar Hero and Skylanders, but even games like Tony Hawk Pro Skater, right? We got Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2, but then that was pretty much it. Vicarious Visions got basically is absolved, the right word. I don't know if that's the right word, but they went to go on to work on Diablo, because that's where the higher ups at Activision kind of repositioned them, if you will. And it was kind of disappointing, because at that point I thought, okay, well, maybe we're not going to get any more Tony Hawk Pro Skater remakes. No 3 and 4, no Underground 1 and 2, no American Wasteland, no new games. Maybe we're going to get all of that and more with this whole acquisition. So there's some really interesting stuff in that as well. But Phil Spencer went on to talk about some of the IPs also, and let's talk about that. So I'll throw that up on screen right now. So he says, in discussing some of the intellectual properties owned by Activision Blizzard, Spencer's excitement may have mirrored the enthusiasm of a Starcraft player noticing the long dormant franchise's logo in Microsoft's acquisition announcement. So he says, I was looking at the IP list. I mean, let's go. So see, Phil Spencer, he's hyped, man. He's hyped. He says King's Quest, Guitar Hero. He said, I should know this, but I think they also got Hexen, if I'm pronouncing that right, which Hexen is an Activision Blizzard property. So there's all these different ones. And then obviously the article goes on to say that, of course, there's other IPs such as Crash Bandicoot, right, which was the original Sony PlayStation mascot, but now owned by Xbox. So weird. There's also, of course, Tony Hawk Pro Skater, right? The Tony Hawk skateboard series, they said. And then beloved characters like Spyro the Dragon. I mean, there's so many opportunities, right? Will they continue making Crash? We got a Crash 4 recently. I loved it. I don't know about you guys, but I loved it. I want to see more Crash. What else? Spyro. I wanted to see a new Spyro game. After we got the trilogy remastered, which honestly I gotta go back to and platinum, because those games are so great. Like, those are some of my favorite childhood games. The Spyro trilogy are just, I love those games so freaking much. If you haven't played them, guys, pick up the Spyro trilogy. You're doing yourself a disservice not playing those games. I promise you, you will love them. And if you don't love them, I'll be very surprised. That's all I'll say to that. But the point is, you know, of course, Phil Spencer, he's hyped, man. Like, here's the thing, like I keep saying, Phil Spencer's a gamer, right? Yes, he's the CEO, right? He's the head, but he's a gamer. That's the thing. At the end of the day, you know, beneath all the business side of things, it's like anything else, right? It's like whatever business you're in, I mean that you're passionate about and love, that's gonna shine through. You know what I mean? So yes, there's the corporate side to it, but what I love about, like I said, Nintendo, and then of course Phil Spencer and some of the people in charge at Xbox, is the fact that they love games, right? And that is a huge bonus, because when you have someone running these businesses that love games, they're going to try to do the right thing, not just for the business, but also the right thing for the gamer. If you have people that are not really like that much of a gamer, then you have a lot of what you've seen what happened with Activision, right? A lot of the higher ups, they're so disconnected. And so you get all this crazy stuff that happens where, you know, there's just really poor decisions that leave gamers scratching their heads and they're like, what? Like, what? This doesn't make any sense. Because they would only look at it from the business side of things and not also from the gamer side of things. Whereas, again, someone like Phil Spencer is going to look at it from both perspectives, right? And he's going to try to do what seems to be the best, you know, for both worlds. So, anyways, moving on from that, though, we actually have a little bit more of a quote, because again, I was talking about some of the IPs. So he actually goes on a little bit further beyond that regarding some of the games that he would like to pull out of the Activision Blizzard Vaults, if you will. So throw it up on screen right now. It says Toys for Bob, obviously one of the studios working under Activision Blizzard, successfully launched games like Crash Bandicoot 4, It's About Time, but was later folded into supporting Call of Duty games. Very disappointing. I know COD's huge, but come on, man. Keep them on Crash. They did a great job. Come on. Spencer said, though, that the Xbox team will talk with developers about working on a variety of franchises from the Activision Blizzard Vaults. Thank you, Phil Spencer. We're hoping that we'll be able to work with them when the deal closes to make sure we have resources to work on franchises that I love from my childhood and that the teams really want to get. I'm looking forward to these conversations. I really think it's about adding resources and increasing capability. So again, right here, you can see Phil Spencer and his gamer and his inner child coming out, right? So again, yeah, sure, he is the head, he is the CEO of all of these divisions now within Xbox and you know, the gaming realm and the gaming side of things from Microsoft, but at the same time, he has a gaming childhood. He still games. There's all these different things, and he's excited about this because, just like you and me, he's excited about the potential of these games they can pull out from the vault and work on. There is so much potential. The fact that he's talking about these games, right? It seems very heavily indicative that they're gonna eventually, at some point, hopefully in the near future, get teams back working on Crash and get back working on Spyro. Not all the Activision teams need to be working on Call of Duty, for crying out loud, you know what I mean? Maybe there's gonna be better better timing and practices within the release dates of how CODs, release. Even if it takes an extra year sometimes, you know what I mean? I've been saying I think that's what COD needs, is to take a little bit of extra time, skip a year, give us Modern Warfare 2 remastered multiplayer with Phil Spencer as head. We might actually get that. Our CEO actually, with Phil Spencer leading the thing, we might actually finally get Modern Warfare 2 remastered multiplayer. That is a very long title, my gosh. But the point is, we could finally get that. There are so many possibilities, and that's why I'm really excited about this acquisition, right? Because again, I think that the practices from the Activision side of things have been really weird and not really for the gamers at all. And now to have someone who's a gamer running things, there's so much to get excited for, because we can see a lot more come back, games that we haven't seen in many years, like Guitar Hero. So I'm excited about the future, man, and I wanted to talk about this because when I seen this interview, I was like, yo, this is hype. Just like Phil Spencer said, he's like, let's go. He's excited. I'm excited. Let me know what you guys think about it all in the comments below. Which Activision game would you like to see get either, I guess, remade or the franchise kind of make a comeback? And even if it's like games that we've seen recently, like Crash Bandicoot 4, we technically got a 4th game, but would you want to see a 5th game? Or Spyro, or Tony Hawk, or Guitar Hero, or Skylanders, or whatever else? Or what do you want to see change with Call of Duty? Any of that, let me know in the comment section below. And as always, if you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to leave a like so more people can see it. Again, if you don't like it, let me know why in the comments so I can improve the content in the future. And I'll see you guys soon in another video. Until then, my friends, game on, and thanks for watching.